Hey you guys, this is Heath, and I am just going to make a really quick 4 months on tea update video and talk about a few of the changes I've noticed 4 months on tea. Um, so just to start off, like some of the physical changes I've noticed is I think my voice has continued to drop. I've started to feel it again this month, so it kind of feels like I have a sore throat sometimes. And that had stopped for a little while. So it's kind of weird to feel it again, but in a strange way I kind of like it because it like kind of reassures me that there's something changing, because sometimes I get to a point where I'm like feeling like nothing's changing, and so it's kind of nice to like physically feel something changing. um, I am sitting in a car right now. I keep getting distracted because my girlfriend is at work and we are down to being a one vehicle family because of our move to Hawaii. So we've sold my vehicle and we just have hers. In addition to that, we're kind of homeless right now, but not completely because we're staying at our parents' house. But we just don't have a place of our own because we have officially moved out of our apartment. So we're trying to save a little bit of money and living with her parents for a couple of weeks. So that's been interesting. They're great. We're just used to having our own space, you know. So I never thought I'd be living with my girlfriend's parents, but we are, at least for a couple of weeks. Um, so yeah, that's kind of why I am filming this in the car right now. But besides that, what else? So yeah, my voice has changed some. And I don't know if anything about my face has really changed besides I get like random like facial hair still. I think I'll get more now. I've been cutting it with like just some clippers to try to like keep it from looking like too wild, because they're just like random ones. And so I'm just waiting for it to get a little thicker before I like really get to like embrace the facial hair. But it's cool to see that changing as well. Besides that, I'm getting like a little bit more hair on my chest especially, and some more on my stomach. It used to be just like a straight line, like from my stomach, like up my chest. It's starting to like come out some. So that's cool. I'm really enjoying that, especially being like post-op top surgery. I feel a lot more confident with like having some chest hair. So I think it's sweet. I also have more hair like that's come on my thighs, in the back of my legs. So that's increased since last month. Besides those changes, I feel like I've more seen like more than physical changes right now. For 4 months on T, I think I've had a lot more of an emotional change. I feel a lot more confident, and I get gendered correctly in public a lot more. And I'm not sure if that's like because I've changed physically than things that I don't notice necessarily, or just voice, or what, but something obviously, because I used to never get gendered correctly, or like rarely get gendered correctly, and now I get gendered correctly like all the time. So with that, I think it's just become this like increase in confidence and just really feeling affirmed and supported by my family and friends as I see them gender me correctly as well. It took a little bit of adjustment for them, but they really came along. I still have some issues at work sometimes with like coworkers misgendering me in front of clients, and then like clients kind of like picking up on what's going on. I think I noticed it the most whenever we had I work with a nursing staff, and we have nurses that come in periodically from the local schools, and so they'll follow our nursing staff and learn a little bit about what mental health psych nursing is. And so we had like a lady come in, and she was really cool. We were vibing and everything, but it did come up in conversation that hey, I noticed that, you know, they call you this name, but I've heard them call you she a few times, and I heard another name. So I realize that my coworkers are doing it, even though whenever I don't hear it sometimes, and I think it's completely on accident. So I don't get mad or anything, but it is kind of like a little bit scary, or like disappointing to know that like probably this is happening around my clients as well, because it's happened, you know, in front of a person that's come in, and they've expressed it to me. So that's interesting. And I'm looking forward to having a different environment a little bit with the move, because I've been living in my hometown, town I grew up in. So I'm looking forward to that next chapter. I don't want to say like a fresh new start, because I like the start of my life, and I like everything up to this point. I've had my hard times, I've had my bad times, but it's not that I'm trying to like escape where I'm at. It's just I'm ready for a next chapter kind of thing. So yeah, that brings me down emotionally a little bit, but then being gendered correctly often and just the support I've received is really bringing me up. And I feel extremely empowered and uplifted lately, so that's really cool. So I think that's, like, emotionally, that's, like, hands down the biggest change. I don't feel as, like, consumed in my transition as I did in the first few months. I've noticed that kind of, like, deteriorating, which feels so good, because I think for a long time, and I think it's a pretty natural thing for people who transition to whatever that means for them, whether that's just socially transitioning or, whether it is getting on HRT or some surgeries or whatever it is that you need to do for yourself. I think it's natural to like get really consumed with that and like that part of your identity. But I have so many different identities, and so it's nice to like not be consumed with that, my trans identity, and that, focusing on myself as a trans person, but myself as a person who is trans. I feel more focused on that right now, so that's really cool. And I think that will continue to happen, even later down the road. I'll be able to sit more comfortably in my skin and have kind of like a new normal, So with that, I think that's pretty much it. That's pretty much my update for 4 months on T. In 2 days I'll be 2 months post-op top surgery as well. Let me make sure nobody's around. Okay, I'll show you my chest. So this is what my chest looks like 2 months post-op top surgery. So as you can see, I think it looks like killer. I've been using Mederma, so to fade my scars. I've also been using scar strips, so that helps. And I'm really pumped about it, and I feel more comfortable with that as well. I had like my first like stranger who doesn't know that I'm trans see me in public without my shirt on. I just went to take like something to my car at the apartment that we were living at, and I got a pretty I don't want to say negative reaction, like she didn't say anything, but the fact that she didn't say anything when I said hello, that was like a big sync moment, and I just saw the way that she looked at my chest, and I felt extremely vulnerable at that time, but I'm preparing myself, because in Hawaii I want to feel like, I can go to the beach and take my shirt off and feel good about myself. I've been waiting for so long to have this chest, and so even with that excitement though, there's a sense of fear, like anxiety that comes with it, so I'm just still kind of working through that, and I think it hit a little bit harder than I thought it would, like right after post-op, because like directly after post-op I was like, I don't care who sees my scars, I'm gonna be out and about, it doesn't matter, but then you come back to reality a little bit, that this is not the norm, and that people, they are